So you've got a podcast, but it's not growing as fast as you'd like it to. Sound familiar? If so, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that you can implement today to start making sure your podcast is growing the way you want it to. I'm Sebastian Rusk, and I help people start a podcast. Now, quick reminder, if your show is not growing, it is more than likely your fault. But the good news is there's something that can be done, and with these 3 strategies I'm about to give you, you'll be able to do just that. Let's get started. All right, first tip, strategy, whatever you want to call it, for making sure your podcast is constantly growing, you need to start doing more episodes. Are you crazy, Sebastian? I'm already doing 1 per month. Why would I increase that? Or maybe you're doing 1 per week. Whatever you're doing currently, you need to be doubling that number. So if you're doing 1 a week, you need to be doing 2 a week. If you're doing 1 a month, you need to be doing 2 a month, maybe even 3 a month. The more episodes you record and put out, the more content your audience gets to consume. Now, you got to be strategic with the type of content that you're creating as far as your podcast episodes are concerned. Remember, you want to title these episodes around something somebody would actually search for, not just what you think is a catchy title. So doing more episodes on a weekly and monthly basis is going to, in fact, help you increase your download numbers, which in turn helps your podcast grow. All right. Tip number 2, micro content. You've heard me talk about it before on the channel. I'm going to continue to talk about it because it is the lifeblood of being able to market your podcast. Most podcasts are recorded via Zoom or Riverside.fm. Link below in the comments to check that out. And you get an archived video and audio of the podcast interview. Why not take that content and chop it up into micro pieces of content so that, number 1, you've got content for your social media, which you need anyway for your brand to grow. And number 2, this content will help bring attention to your podcast and market your podcast and the episode that you're talking about. So I'm talking about micro videos. So taking the archive video and chopping up into 30, 45 second, 60-second clips to share on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram stories and TikTok and all of the above. You've already got the content. All you've got to do is chop it up and turn it into social media content on a daily and a weekly basis. There's all kinds of incredible tools out there. If you have any questions, just comment below. I'll reply back to all of my favorite tools. There's a few links in the show description too of those tools, like Headliner.app, great tool, Riverside.fm, great tool to record, and they've got a little bit of an editing feature to help you out with content. Kapwing.com, Kapwing.com, great tool to create micro videos and micro content. So if you're not creating micro content for each and every episode you're putting out, again, your fault. And if your show's not growing because you're not doing micro content, well, ding, 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 it's time to start doing it, and you can do it today. No, you don't have to hire an editor. No, you don't need a video person. No, you don't need an editor. You can simply leverage the tools that are available, or maybe you have a team in place, and that team can start executing on this micro content. Tip number 2, start creating micro content for your podcast to grow even more. All right, third and final tip for growing your podcast, start running ads. Sebastian, I don't have an advertising budget. Well, you need to create one. You can do one for as little as $1 a day. Do you realize you can spend $10 and reach 5,000 to 10,000 people on every single ad that you create and promote for a piece of content? For example, let's say you go over to Headliner.app and you create an audiogram. You post that audiogram on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram stories, everywhere you possibly can or where you're active. Then you go to Facebook and you click Boost Post. Of course, you need to post this content on your business page so you can run ads on it. You click Boost Post. You put $1 a day for 30 days. You choose your audience. You put any relevant calls to action that need to be included in the ad, and you click Promote Post. Boost Post, whatever the case may be. I promise you, Facebook makes it ridiculously easy for you to create ads because they want you to spend money with them. Instagram, even easier. You click Promote Post. It walks you through a couple of steps. You can even put a URL in Learn More or Watch More or Sign Up Now. That URL can go to your actual podcast episode. You see where I'm getting with this? You create an audiogram or a micro video. You post it on Instagram. You promote the post for $1 or $2 a day. 30 or 60 bucks a day to promote each episode. If you promoted all 4 episodes you were doing on a monthly basis, you'd be spending around $120 a month to promote those 4 episodes. And you'll see a significant increase in the downloads and people actually listening to your show and consuming your content. Now, disclosure. If you take these 3 steps and you do absolutely nothing with them, your show's not going to grow. If you take these 3 steps and you implement them today, I promise you by next week, you're going to see a spike in the amount of people that are consuming your content, listening to your podcast, and downloading episodes on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Well, I hope you're leaving this episode knowing at least 1 or 2 things that you did not know about how to grow your podcast. Questions about growing your podcast or any questions pertaining to podcasting or anything else you've seen on the channel, feel free to comment below. I do respond to each and every one of you lovely people. Until next time.